He's been injured this season, so we don't quite know what he'll do. But, you know, if you're Israel Olatunde and you're in a semi-final, you'd want to be in there with the Olympic champ. I think that's good. It's top two to qualify, two fastest losers. It's going to be tight. He needs to run the fastest race of his life, new Irish record to get close to this final. But who knows, there might be a bit of magic in that Munich stadium tonight. Big crowd in there.
You would never know. We hope so from an Irish point of view. The first semi-final, he'll be starting shortly. Rob, what I loved about Israel's run on the first day of the championship was, first of all, that he won that heat, but he had that lovely arrogant strut that the best sprinters have.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's very un-Irish-like, isn't it, that he wants to go in. So what I'm going to be interested, does he have that sense of belonging amongst the boys in the semi-final tonight? Because it's grand winning the heat when you're in control, but when you're under pressure in any event or in any sport, how does the body react? So I have high hopes for him. I think he's I think he's a lovely young fella. I think he's got that bit of bite and he's massive ambition, so the best of luck to him.
Yeah, 100 metre sprints, always very exciting to watch, and great to have an Irish competitor involved, as I said, in the third of these semi-final heats. Let's go now trackside and join our commentary team in Munich.
Peter, thanks a million. An absolutely fantastic atmosphere in the stadium tonight. A crowd of around 45,000. Looking forward to this. The first of the 100-metre semi-finals. Israel Olatunde, as you were saying, coming up in the semi-final number 3. That's Jeremiah Azu of Britain. His hero is Usain Bolt. This today, the 13th anniversary of Bolt's 9.58 in Berlin back in 2009. There's Jimmy Vico of France, very experienced campaigner, has run sub 10 seconds in the past and looks pretty relaxed on the start line there. An Olympian 3 times in London, Rio and in Tokyo. There's the defending champion, Zharnel Hughes from Britain. Didn't have it all his own way in Oregon, only made the semi-finals, struggled in Tokyo as well, disqualified.
Yeah, but he looks as if he's primed and ready to go.
Lucas Ansa Pepra of Germany, just 22 years of age, one of the up-and-coming German sprinters, has run 10.04 this season in lane 6. He was part of their 4x100 team in Tokyo, ran the last leg there. Markus Fuchs from Austria, 12-time national champion. Austrian record holder with 10.15. And in lane 8, Pascal Mancini of Switzerland, 33 years of age now. Came through the qualifying heats, 10.24 was his time. He'll do well to get involved at the business end of this race. Remember, just 2 automatic qualifiers, as it says on screen there, and the 2 best of the rest from the 3 semi-finals. Jimmy Vico, silver medalist in Helsinki all of 10 years ago now. German crowd, of course, will be right behind Lucas Ansa Pepra, who's in lane 6. Jeremy Azu of Britain, just 21 years of age, the Welshman, one of the up-and-coming British sprinters. They've a great stable of sprinters, the British. Henrik Larsson in lane 1, Kayhan Ozer in 2. So just set to go in the first semi-final, and they're away first time. Good start by Azu of Britain. Vico beside him, and Zharnel Hughes coming through. Hughes and Azu could be a 1-2 for Britain. That's a really good night and good business for Team GP. Zharnel Hughes a little bit slow to get out of the blocks, but very powerful over the last 50 metres, and looks like a British 1-2. We'll confirm that in just a moment. Did Vico get involved? Well, there's confirmation. Zharnel Hughes 10.03, Jeremiah Azu 10.17, just 1/10 of a second, 100th of a second faster than Jimmy Vico in third. So it was close between Azu and Vico. So we'll see if that 10.18 will be good enough for the Frenchman. And of course, with Israel Olatunde to come later on, those times 10.18 and 10.19 are very significant.
They're in the ballpark figure where Israel is running at the moment, but again, you know, Zharnel Hughes, what happened? He stumbled out of the blocks, failed to get into it running, and Azu was up and home and a hose and just got caught. But yeah, we're looking at the times you know, to see how close Israel can get to this. But we just here to see the replay here. Zarnel Hughes really struggled to get out of the block. That drive phase and initial acceleration was struggling, and it was only at past 60 metres that when he got upright and transitioned into that top end speed. And for Vico, he ran out of track because he was closing down like a steam train on a zoo, but managed to get by 100th of a second.
Just 200ths of a second separating second and fourth, so that shows you how close that was. But 10:18 for Vico, 10:19 for Lucas Ansa Pepra. And obviously Israel Olatunde, in his heat earlier on in the campaign, ran a PB of 10:19, so he's going to have to better that.
Yeah, well, we know that that's the sort of area that he's going to go. You can see Jimmy Vico now, he's in one of those hot seats. And that will be a shifting sand, as they say, because if anybody runs faster than 10:19 or 10:18, that gentleman there in front of you will lose their seat in that final place that which is held later on this evening.
And Greg, I'm just thinking as well, for Israel Olatunde going in the third of the semi-finals, at least he knows going into it what he has to do after what happens in the second semi coming up.
I think it's probably more significant in a longer race that is the case, because obviously at 100 metres you just give it all.
Pedal to the metal, yeah.
I think the really significant element of this is that Israel Olatunde came within 1/100th of a second of the Irish record in winning his first round heat, which didn't include the seeded athletes. So he wasn't actually challenged in that particular race. He was a metre clear of the field, which is it's like being 15 metres clear of the field at the end of the 1500 metres. It's a really very distinct margin. Now it'll be interesting to see, with the quality of athletes like the Olympic champion and Zeze of France alongside him, will he be pushed on to an Irish record? Because he has lane 7, so he's not on the very outside. He's in certain proximity to Zeze and Jacobs. They're only one lane between them and him. And I think we've got the chance here of Israel Olatunde setting an Irish record. I've been hearing from somebody who's right down trackside, one of the Irish fans who's been on Twitter, to say that it's flat cam trackside.
Oh, the conditions are super.
And the prevailing wind here is behind them on the home straight. Let's hope that it is prevailing tonight. It would just be lovely to see Israel take that record. It's a fantastic record of Paul Hession, going back 15 years, back to June 2007, when Paul Hession was in his pump, the fastest man that we've ever produced. And this could be the night when that 15-year-old record goes. And if it's possible for Israel Olatunde to get into the 10.10 territory, I think he'll make the final as one of the fastest non-automatic qualifiers. I'm not so sure he can get through in one of the top two places.
It's going to be a big ask, isn't it?
Yeah, I think one thing that has proven from the outset is that he actually performed on the day in this heat situation. So the big stage that is here tonight, you know, he already performed. So he's on an upward trajectory, Con. So it's really positive stuff. So we'll hold out for heat number 3.
Very positive for the British team as well, with Azu and Zarnel Hughes already through to the final, and Rhys Prescott, who took silver in Berlin in 2018, he's in the second semi-final. There is a Jan Volko of Slovakia in lane 1, a gold medalist at the European Indoors in 2019. Beside him, Carlos Nascimento of Portugal, who ran in the Olympic Games, didn't get through the heats, ran a time of 10:37 in Tokyo. Then Owen Ansa for Germany, and he's a 10:08 runner, Ansa, and on front of that home crowd, maybe just that extra little bit of push from them. Who knows what will happen for Ansa in lane 3. Jack Ali Harvey of Turkey in lane 4, originally from Jamaica, silver medalist in Amsterdam at the European Championships in 2016. That was the first ever Turkish athlete to get a European medal at that stage. They've won a few since then. Ali Chituru of Italy, he's in lane 5, the 23-year-old of Ghanaian descent. And there is Rhys Prescott. He was part of the bronze medal winning team in Oregon at the World Championships, the 4x100 team. Silver medalist last time out in Europe behind Zarnel Hughes, just 100th of a second behind Zarnel Hughes in that final, actually, back in Berlin. Mamadou Fall of France is in lane 7. He has a PB of 10:04. If he could match that, who knows what might happen. Dominik Kopecz of Poland is in lane 8. He was a semi-finalist in Berlin in 2018. So a reminder, first 2 will automatically qualify. $10.18 and $10.19 currently the 2 best non-automatic qualifiers. And there they are, Vico and Ansa Pepra. So silence descends in the Olympic Stadium, and what has been a raucous night so far, with the qualifying for the high jump, the decathlon ongoing, and some great performances in the field earlier on, bringing the crowd to their feet. Well, will these sprinters bring them to their feet? It's the second semi-final.
Yeah. Do you know, a little bit of movement, very unusual, where you'd see when they're called to the set position that they actually move and go before even some of the field got into that proper set position. So I think this could be a faulty start. So you're probably going to see, you know, a green card or a yellow card. I don't think anybody will be disqualified on this.
Focusing on anybody in particular. Little conference, the officials, the green card is coming out.
Yeah, that's a faulty start. So it's on the team officials of starting team at the start of the 100 meters. But it just adds to the whole tense nature of this. Fine margins.
No room for error for these athletes. I just wonder for the likes of Jimmy Vuku, who's such an experienced campaigner. I'm sure sitting in that chair, do you think he likes the camera coming onto him every so often?
I think he's only keeping it warm, to be perfectly honest.
Don't think it's going to be good enough now. Well, this is the second of 3 semi-finals. Start. So you were talking about that tension in the stadium, David, and so it proved.
Yeah.
Jack Ali Harvey is the...
And you know what, Con? The camera there shot to their hands in the set position, and you could see the nerves. They actually were shaking in the thing. I've never seen that before. There's an edge in the stadium here tonight that we could feel.
Good overhead shot here.
Yeah, he moved.
There was a
Harvey lane 4. He moved.
I think he knows himself.
Yeah. So if we see a black and red card, that's an instant disqualification, and his chances of reaching a European 100-meter final is over. Watch him on the left of the screen here.
Hard to tell from that angle. I think the overhead was actually a better angle.
Oh, wow.
It's a yellow card.
So this is a warning. We're going to see the full array of cards here this evening. So we've seen a green, a yellow, and the only one left is the black and red.
You were looking at a relieved man there in Jack Ali Harvey.
He knows that too. You know that.
A little shake of the head. His body language just a few moments ago was it?
And once again, Con, this piles further pressure, and you see a warning on these men in the semi-final. With only 2 to qualify, there is no room for error.
Rhys Prescott in lane 6, looking to become the 3rd British sprinter into the final in an event that they have dominated down through the years. 7 times they've been champion in the European Championships down through the years. Arnell Hughes, the defending champion. So is it going to be 3rd time lucky in this second semi-final? Volko, Nascimento, Ansa, Harvey, Ali Chituru, Prescott, Ball and Kopecz. They're away this time. No, they're not.
And I can tell you one thing, Harvey's definitely going to get his marching orders this time, Con, because I think he was gone before the B of the bang.
Camera has focused on Ali Chituru, the Italian, but I was going to say nervous-looking Italian fans, but they're not nervous at all. They're just happy to be on screen.
Yeah, the camera is focusing on Ali, but there was... So the reading comes back into the time management system there because there's pressure pads on the back of the blocks, and that feeds the information back in. No, it's Harvey. Yeah.
Your naked eye.
You can see that. Yeah, he's so he received the yellow, and he's certainly it's a black and red. I think it's coming his way. False start.
Yep, Jack Ali Harvey is out. Disappointment for him.
Jacques Montgomery Harvey, as he was known in Jamaica before he took up Turkish citizenship. And
it'll only walk back, you know, down in the bells of the stadium here. You can see in lane 4. Just watch in lane 4 his feet. Watch his feet. See the feet? And that's like on the left-hand side of our screen here. He's gone before Ali of Italy in the lane beside him.
Yeah. Some man down. So now it's Volko, Nascimento, Ansa, Ali Chituru, Prescott, Fall and Cupettes. Little shake of the head from do you know what? I can tell Jimmy Vico does not like sitting in that seat. Although he's happy to be possibly in the final.
Yeah.
He's not liking that.
10 years ago, he was silver medalist in the Europeans in Helsinki.
Yeah.
It's a long career to be sitting in that seat, you know, having scaled those heights.
Yeah. So now it's semi-final number 2, and this time they are away. Reece Prescott outside him, Fall, the French is going well. Ali Chituru inside him as well, and in lane 1, Volko also going well. Oh, this is a close one. Very, very close.
Yeah.
There's not going to be much in this.
Prescott didn't look well there. Not his usual fluid running style, because he's been given it a 10-10, Con.
So it's a third British sprinter into the final.